So there's an ancient quote, and it says that imagination is the most miraculous, marvelous, inconceivably powerful force that the world has ever known. Your imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force that the world has ever known. But the question is, how do you use it? One of the masters at this was Neville Goddard, one of the most famous teachers on metaphysics in history. And he taught some incredible techniques to use the power of imagination to create your own reality. He's written, hundreds and hundreds of books. And in this video, I'm going to break down his top 3 techniques and exercises to use the power of imagination to create your own reality. So Neville Goddard said, to realize your desire, an action must start in your imagination apart from the evidence of the senses involving movement of self and implying fulfillment of your desire. And if you're wondering what on earth does that mean, he goes on to describe it in a really simple way. He says, quote, "The imaginative image is the only thing to seek. Every state is already there as a mere possibility, as long as you think of it. But it is overwhelmingly real when you think from it." So this first exercise from Neville is an easy technique to move from thinking of it to thinking from it, like you're already there. It's called the congratulations technique. And this is one, it's kind of a bizarre story. I actually was doing this technique because I kind of thought of it on my own before I even read Neville's books. And so once I was able to apply it the way that he talked about, I started getting what I wanted really fast. Things started happening quicker and quicker. And it's a pretty simple exercise to do. The congratulations technique just goes like this. First, imagine that you have already fulfilled your dream, whatever it is. For example, and I tell this story a lot, I wanted my YouTube channel to blow up. So what would it look like if my YouTube channel blew up? It'd be refreshing the browser on the internet and holy crap, everything's going viral. So think about whatever it is that you want. Just like that, if it happened, maybe some type of crazy event, really cool event or circumstance that would occur if you got it. Okay, number 2 is imagine someone else, like a friend or a family member, congratulating you wholeheartedly. So when I would refresh the browser on the internet, I imagine my wife jumping up and down and screaming with me, and we're so excited. So think of a specific person and they're congratulating you about this really good thing that happened. It might be that you healed yourself from an illness. It might be that you removed chronic pain. It might be that you got a raise or a promotion. You're getting all these new sales or customers. All this new money's come. You got your brand new dream house. Something really good has happened and someone is so excited. They're like, oh my gosh. And if you can't think of anyone that you can imagine me. Imagine I'm sitting with you and I'm like, holy crap, Bill, holy crap, Susan, right? And imagine, take a deep breath and imagine that I'm with you right now and I'm jumping up and down. I am freaking psyched for you. I can't believe you did it. So you can even imagine how that person's shaking your hand or how I'm shaking your hand. You're feeling the handshake at the same time you're hearing their excitement. Maybe tears are running down your face. You're so excited. You may imagine that person hugging you. You may imagine that you're with your wife or your husband or your mom or your dad and they're kissing you. Or don't imagine that I'm kissing you, okay? I just met you, we shouldn't do that. But imagine that you're jumping up and down with your best friend in excitement. It's really good. And while imagining this person, your friend, your business partner, your spouse, feel the fulfillment of your goal as if God just bestowed it upon you. God just blessed you, and you just feel so privileged and grateful that God blessed you with this fantastic thing in your life. This is the congratulations technique. It's really simple to do. You can just close your eyes, you can do it before bed, and over, you just replay this excitement and congratulations about something very, very good happening. And before we move on to exercise number 2 for your imagination, let's just go back to those powerful words by Neville. He said, "The imaginative image is the only thing to seek. Every state is already there as a mere possibility, as long as you think of it. But it is overwhelmingly real when you think from it. You're thinking from the congratulations. You're thinking from jumping up and down with your husband or your wife or your best friend. You're thinking from getting congratulated from your clients or your boss on that awesome financial news. You are thinking from it, and that's what makes it real." Now, exercise number 2 to use your imagination to create your reality is summed up pretty well by this Neville quote. He said, "The world, which is described from observation from our own senses, is a manifestation of the mental activity of the observer." So Jake, what the heck is he saying? He's saying that the entire world of observation, everything that you see with your 5 senses, is just a mirror of your own mental activity. And he says a really powerful quote here when he's describing technique number 2, which is revision and revise. And here's what he has to say about it. "If you judge after appearances, you will continue to be enslaved by the evidence of your senses." So technique number 2, revise and revision, is about moving beyond the evidence of our senses. So this technique is pretty easy to practice, and what it's going to do is start to train your mind to no longer be enslaved, as he said, by the evidence of the senses. And Goddard writes that one of the best habits that you can develop is to review all the events that you had in your day every single evening just before you go to bed, because that's when a lot of people take the negative energy of the day and they allow it to get into their subconscious. So in the revision technique, he says that as you're walking your mind through your past day, you may notice that there's a few situations that didn't go quite the way that you might have wanted them to go. No problem. If so, Neville says to use this time to reimagine the circumstances as if they had turned out favorably. Instead of that bad meeting, you ended up getting a raise. Instead of losing that client, you ended up getting a huge new client and bringing in a bunch more money. Instead of starting to feel down about your health, you just ran a mile today. What you're doing here is you're changing what was impressed upon your subconscious mind during the day. So if you receive some bad news on a text message from a friend, instead, imagine yourself back in that moment again, sitting on the same couch and you're reading that text, but instead, something really good happened. Imagine opening your cell phone and you're reading that message again and it's something awesome. Something really good just happened. Imagine instead of that one crappy email, you got a new email with some great health news, with some great career or financial news. Just taking exactly what happened and revising it in your mind. This is the revision technique, and this one is best used before bed so you can change what your subconscious impressions receive before you knock out for the night. The third technique to start to harness the power of your imagination from Neville Goddard is a pretty cool one. This one's pretty creative, and it's called the eavesdropping technique. Yep, you heard it right, the eavesdropping technique. So what you're going to do basically is imagine that you overhear a conversation between your friends or between your boss and some employees, or it's some acquaintances, or maybe it's just some people at the grocery store that you don't even know, but they're seeing you. And what you're going to do here is talk about the fact that you've accomplished your goal in your mind to yourself as if you're them. So the eavesdropping technique is you sitting there mentally in the room, hearing them talk about how something really good happened, hearing about how you got some awesome news, you just crushed the new sales goals, you have this awesome look about you. You're in great shape. You had this great health stuff happen to you. You just finished your album. Your book's really good and you got a book contract. You doubled your income. Whatever it is, they're gossiping about you. But it's in a really good way. They're like, oh my gosh, did you know Jake did this and this and this? Oh my gosh, it's so cool. This happened and this happened. And here's the important thing, because feeling is the secret with this technique. You want to notice the tone of their voice, the words that they're using, and how this is making you feel. You might have just heard me, I did it with excitement and energy, right? So I could feel it. You're going to internalize these feelings that you feel when you hear this conversation, and you're going to turn that conversation into real feelings of excitement. Doesn't it feel good? They're sitting there and you happen to be in the room. They don't know you're there and you're hearing about this awesome financial news. You're hearing about these great things happen. They're praising you. They're admiring you. They're complimenting you. Some of them might even be shocked about something really good that happened in your life. Maybe they're really surprised in a good way. And whatever each of them says, just internalize it and let it repeat in your head. This is the eavesdropping technique, and technically, you're eavesdropping on the future. Hearing your friends, your colleagues, your coworkers talk about something really good. And by doing that, you're actually creating it. So if you enjoy this video and you want to see more Neville Goddard techniques, be sure to let me know in the comments right there down below. You can pick any of these 3 techniques. Let me know how it works for you. I'd love to feature it in a success story video, a Neville Goddard technique success story video. So let me know right there down below. Be sure to check out my free success hypnosis. It's right there down below, jakeshypnosis.com. It's my free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind. I like to listen to it really quietly while I do these exercises so I can engage my brain and my nervous system from a subconscious or subliminal level as well. So be sure to check that out in the description and pin to the comments. It's jakeshypnosis.com. I'll link some of my other Neville Goddard videos as well. And thanks for watching.